Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 1523. Today is a Rules Tuesday. The Rules, TRH Tuesday. We do the rules Tuesdays and Thursdays of the week. Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider are the mavens, the authors of the rules. New York Times best-selling authors of the rules. This is for the Rules Handbook today, a guide to creating loving and lasting relationships. Now, this is a guide that the authors discovered that the rules that were used for having women be chased by men and finding that it was a very tough job to be a pursuee because your brain is always working and you're always running in certain directions so that the man will find a great deal of fun in chasing you down, pinning you down for a date. Once you're on the date, you're easy to be with. And then once you get to the altar, you can fall in love with the guy you're marrying, and he has to catch you in motion when you're married. It's a lot easier to stay married than to get married, say the authors. And it's also harder to do the rules than it is to do some corporate negotiations. A lot of CEOs that are female that have the rules in their minds say this, that it is actually harder to do the rules than it is to do their business. So here we are. We're using the rules for everybody now, everybody, because what you can do is you can enhance all of your relationships by using the rules. Don't be so available so often. Don't be the one that puts out so much, and also do set boundaries against toxic relationships. And men can use the rules too on their friends and co-workers and golf buddies and anything. Regrets and reevaluation. Now we're in the section course 5, create respectful marriages and partnerships. We're in week 11 on regrets and reevaluation. Now it looks like I've read you the pep talk last week. Focus this week on asking yourself, am I living my best life now, or am I creating more future regrets? Ooh, isn't that a deep, profound question? Wow, these authors really know what they're doing. Daily rules, day 337, the power of now. There are many theories about how long it should take to heal from a breakup. Some say to wait a month for every year you were married. So if you were married for 12 years, you should wait a year. We respectfully disagree. We believe you should start dating immediately. Do you wait months or years to look for work after being fired from a job? We don't think so. We tell clients to post their profile on dating apps and go to a speed dating event that night or ASAP. Too many smart and successful women are still, quote, recovering, end quote, from men they dated 5 years ago. We tell them to stop waiting and start dating now. Day 338, don't pick on yourself. The first thing a woman does after a divorce or breakup is pick on herself. She's convinced she's a failure and that no one is going to want her. She is talkative or too quiet, independent or codependent, damaged goods, never been in a good relationship, can't put cool outfits together. You get the picture. We tell her, no, the guy who loves you will love your quirkiness and he'll want whatever you are. When they love you, they don't see anything wrong with you. Now, on the other hand, he'll think you're cute. On the other hand, if your friend does it that he's not attracted to, he'll think that she's chubby or whatever. The favoritism, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. For sure. Day 339, regrets. When you were married and your husband was annoying, you couldn't think of anything good about him. Maybe you should have made a gratitude list. He asked you to marry him, took out the garbage, paid the bills, planned interesting vacations, made you laugh, never forgot your birthday or wedding anniversary or Valentine's Day, read you the news so you didn't have to, taped your favorite TV shows because you aren't good with the DVR, put up with your PMS and moodiness, shoveled the snow at 5 a.m., gave you back rubs, and opened your packages so you didn't break a nail. Reflect on his acts of kindness and think about getting back together, if that's an option. There are deal breakers that make it so that it's not an option, but if they haven't done a deal breaking item, then then we want to be able to get back together with a nice husband that has done all these things. It's easier to stay together or make up with a good husband than it is to go out there and be in the dating scene again. Trust me. Well, we all know that. There was this man that I was with who did all kinds of things. He would, but there was a deal breaker. So, yeah, that's how it went. But you think, oh, if I had the rules, if I actually I did have the rules, but not right away. At that point, I hadn't learned the rules very well. I was doing the rules on my relationship, except for the fact that I was living with him. So there, it was interesting because he wasn't the one. Everybody liked him except for I knew the deal breaking parts. So like there's a kind of man that I read in a Playboy book one time. Playboy actually published real books in the 1950s, and there was a book on humor, and it said that there are two people who know this one particular type of man. The whole world likes him except for his father-in-law and his wife. There is such a thing. So, when you've got that kind of a man and he's a deal breaking kind of guy, you really do have to, it is not an option. But we try really hard to see if there's an option. If there's an option. Day 340, one call for closure. You might be thinking, if I had only done the rules on my ex-boyfriend, we might still be together. Can I get him back? It depends. If you initiated the relationship, spoke to him first, asked him out, and he eventually ended it, there is no hope, and it was never meant to be. But if he pursued you, you became clingy, and he felt suffocated and broke it off, there may be a chance. There's only one way to find out, and we call it one call or text for closure. That was in the rules for online dating, I think that one was. Call or text and say, "Hi, I was just wondering how you are doing." If he doesn't call, text back, or ask to meet, it's over. Now, I think it was in that one. It was either in that one or that one that the call. Let's just look. Hold on. One call for closure. Let's see, where is it? One call for closure. Is it here? I don't see it right here, but we can check over here. One call for closure. 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 I don't even see it here, but I don't see it. I think it was definitely in the rules. It might have been there. It could even have been in the original rules. Let's check that out. If it was in the original rules, then I knew it a long time ago, because that's the one that I read first, the original rules. The way I read the rules was I couldn't believe the rules. I was like, no, 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 no. And so what I did was, since I had borrowed the book, I wouldn't mark it up, but I went and got all these little post-its, this size post-it, and I would put it on the page and say no, and put an arrow at the sentence that I was protesting. I found that I put in over 100 of them, and the whole thing with all of these post-its was just as wide and thick as the book itself. So I looked at it and I said, I better buy myself a copy. So I bought myself a copy, and I took all of the post-its and put them from that copy to my copy, because you don't, when you borrow a book, you want to be respectful and give exactly the same book back to the friend, even if your new one seems better. No, you give back exactly what you borrowed anyway. And it's like if you swap it, it's like you take what's not your own. It doesn't feel right. So anyway, but when call for closure, that's how it works. You call and leave a message at his home or machine. Don't call him at work. Don't try to get him live. You're supposed to make it a message that he has time to come back for. And here it says a text. You can write it in a text now. It was definitely in one of the books that was before the green one. Definitely. Anyway, moving on. Day 341, moving on. When women contact us for help, they usually want to talk about their exes. We encourage them to stop talking about them and go on dating apps and singles events ASAP, because the best way to get over an ex is to meet someone else. Yes, we tell them to wipe away a tear, post photos, and a light and breezy profile, and wait for men to contact them. There's nothing like getting messages, "Hey, beautiful," to help you get over your ex. Your lower self wants to live in the past and is all about lack, comfort, and limitation. Your higher self is all about the future, new possibilities, and abundance. And by the way, if the man does call you "hey, beautiful" all the time, or "hey, hun," or "hey, sweetie," or "hey, baby," those words actually, even though they might satisfy your lower self in receiving them and helping you get over an ex, they're actually not the best way for you to get a real boyfriend. Because first of all, the men that do multi-dating and cheating will use words like "hun" or "sweetie," so they don't ever have to make a mistake. Like I call you Diane and your name is Elizabeth or something like that, right? No, they do. So that's one part of it. The other part of it, it's like they objectify you. That's my opinion. That's how I interpret the relationship scene, and I think that some other people can have agreed with me. It's really moving on. Anyway, decluttering your ex. Day 342. Getting over your ex is a lot like decluttering your closet. During makeover consultations, we tell clients what to get rid of. Some argue, "I can't. This is my favorite top." We say, "No, it's not flattering. No one is wearing that color. It's a turtleneck. It's not good for dating. Give it to Goodwill." The clients who argue don't succeed as fast as the clients who readily agree with our suggestions. The compliant clients are too busy buying the right clothes instead of crying about the frumpy ones. It's the same with exes. The faster you let go of your ex, the sooner you'll meet Mr. Right. When you're stuck on Mr. X and you meet a Mr. Right, your Mr. Right will receive that interference. This is my interpretation. Your Mr. X will receive that interpretation and see that you are preoccupied with someone else, and then he will just leave and go on to his next person to pursue. So you might actually lose your Mr. Right if you're not over your ex as soon as you can be. It's like getting up to speed, getting on a highway with your car. You want to gain the speed to be the same speed as everybody else on the highway as soon as you possibly can so that you can merge into the highway. It's a little like that. It's a lot like that with getting rid of your exes. Getting rid of your exes slow you down mentally. And when you are looking for your Mr. Right, you need to be up to speed, empty in the mind of X's, empty of X's, no X's. No X's in the mind, no preoccupation. No, I can't stand how nobody else will pour my wine for me. No, pour your own wine. And oh, I wish he would send me those flowers that he used to do. No, send yourself flowers. The rules are all about being your own busy and happy self and letting a man come and find you. And when you have your choice of all the men who have come to you and think that you're their look, you get to choose between these men. That's how it works. Because if you're not his type, then he's not going to be interested in you. Like, say somebody wants a redhead, but they meet me. It's not going to last if I pursue them. I mean, they may even marry me to be polite, but once they're tired of me, they'll leave. They'll go, oh no, damn, I want a redhead, you know. So you got to comply with that. It's a part of nature, and your knowledge is being forewarned is forearmed. You won't get into a never meant to be relationship when you're doing the rules. And the men will. Somebody just weeded himself this morning on my LinkedIn. They wrote in something. They said, "Hi, are you? Is your hometown from China? Because my name is Ying Yang, right? Well, my hometown is San Francisco, but a lot of people see my name as Ying Yang and think that I'm from the old country right away. Yes, I was born in the old country, but my home, as soon as I was one, was San Francisco. So I'm an American, Asian American. And then this morning I saw a message that said, I suppose you don't like to talk to your own countrymen. I'm not answering it. I mean, the first one was kind of obtuse as it was, and the second one is definitely an extra, you know? So, I get that a lot. Okay, so the faster you let go of your ex, the sooner you'll meet Mr. Right. Here we are. I gotta read all the last sentences of each of these. The power of now. We tell them to stop waiting and start dating now. Don't pick on yourself. When they love you, they don't see anything wrong with you. Regrets. Reflect on his acts of kindness and think about getting back together if that's an option. When call for closure. If he doesn't call, text back, or ask to meet, it's over. Moving on. Your higher self is all about the future, new possibilities, and abundance. Decluttering your ex. The faster you let go of your ex, the sooner you'll meet Mr. Right. Don't stay stuck. Force yourself to believe that the breakup is for a reason and that the universe, capital U, has a better plan and a better man for you, even if you can't see it now. Move on. Don't stay stuck. Day 343. Are you struggling with the end of your marriage or a breakup? Are you frustrated that he has moved on so quickly and you haven't? You're not alone. Unfortunately, men can end a 5-year relationship in 5 minutes and meet someone new that night, while women tend to stay stuck and suffer. Maybe it wasn't even a relationship, but an online fantasy guy who bombarded you with texts and then disappeared. Force yourself to believe that the breakup is for a reason and that the universe has a better plan and a better man for you, even if you can't see it now. Move on. Okay, so apply the rules to achieve your higher self. 1. If you broke up with your ex and then realized he is a good guy after all, and the problem was you're not appreciating him or thinking the grass is greener, take him back. It's easier than starting all over again. 2. After a breakup or divorce, there's nothing to be gained by waiting to date. You're not going to be any wiser. You already know the rules and you're only going to be older. Now, this is really good. When a person is recovering from a a bad relationship where they don't see love as an option for themselves, they just get older. They get a little older. They think they're getting a little wiser, and perhaps that's a little bit true, but you're waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting. And as a matter of fact, I have heard that Ellen and Sherrie were at a conference when one person got up and then they said, when should they start dating again? And then this is what I heard and heard and heard. So it could be a rumor, it could be something else. But I got the impression that the authors looked at her and said, what are you waiting for? Right? So what are you waiting for? Well, I'm waiting for Mr. Right. That's my thing. The other part is, in the books, it says that your friends are probably getting a lot of action and you aren't. So what? It's better to stay home and read the rules than it is to go out and break them, because you will wind up with nothingness marriages or relationships that turn out to be a waste of time that made you older in the first place. Now, that's the thing I had about that 9-year thing. But anyway, 3, don't pick on yourself or think that you are not ready or not good enough to date now. Tell yourself you are perfect just the way you are while you are getting dressed to go out to meet men, whether or not you believe it or feel it. You don't have to feel ready or pretty to date. It's like, ready or not, here I come, right? And I have to say that I did complete my task of uh, putting that lipstick on my mirror. Thanks to a woman in Seattle whose first name was Mary, and thanks to Edna McIntosh who had the call. There was a mantra that was passed around, and this mantra was for women to say, I am an amazing woman, and anybody would be lucky to know me. I am an amazing woman. And anybody would be lucky to know me. Okay. So we will say that and talk to you later. I will see you Thursday for more of the rules again. Tomorrow is the Words and Wisdom Wednesday. Today was the Rules Tuesday. And I hope that you think about all these regrets and reevaluations if they pertain to you. And also to keep that in your mindset, even if you are not in any sort of relationship that would cause you regrets or reevaluation. It's just a woman's rules mindset for marriage. Okay, old Kinderhook.